In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys all of the best tips and tricks that you can use to get ahead of other people in Fortnite OG. The first half of this video is going to be dedicated to all of the new items that have come back, such as the grenade launchers, stinks, how to use rift to goes properly, everything you need for the new items. And the second half is just going to be fighting strats, how to get ahead of other players, whether it's to be winning more games of ranked, getting more kills in pubs, or if you're getting into competitive and you want to go ahead and place this season, since there's so many tournaments, it's going to be absolutely perfect for you. So let's get straight into it. As you guys might know, Epic actually made it so you can no longer do the rift and then picking up an item trick as you rift. So how you want to go ahead and still pick up the item is just build up at least 3 layers, ideally 4 or so like that, up from where you're going to be picking the item up, and then you want to go ahead and rift normally. Rift, can't pick up the item, and then dive straight back down, and you're going to go ahead and land on top of these builds that you've placed, just like that. Grab the item and then get back in the rift just in time, and you can go ahead and now have your item, and you're going to be able to figure out where people are or rift to, wherever you're trying to get to. One of the best methods of getting into a box this season is very simply just getting above somebody, so they're in a 1x1 like this, and going ahead and RPG the back corner, and you'll fall straight in like that. You need to make sure though, when you RPG the back corner, you go behind the cone and you don't just stand up here, because that's going to hit you with splash damage. You can also go ahead and use the RPG very effectively to just get opening damage on fights. So many people just sit spamming it from ages away, but you can very easily go ahead and either get a wall low like this, and then go ahead and shoot an RPG through it, so you can get the bullet straight through and hit the whole team that's inside the box. Or you can just RPG and pre-fire at the same time. It's really good for getting opening damages, and it's probably the best way of starting a fight. As you guys have probably experienced, Boogie Bombs are one of those broken things in the OG Fortnite season, and they're very hard to counter once you get hit with them. One thing to be aware of though is it doesn't matter what damage you take if you want to get out of that Boogie Bomb. You can go ahead and run into a stink grenade to get out of a Boogie Bomb. You can run into Storm. You can also go ahead and actually take full damage when somebody hits you with Boogie, and it's going to cancel the Boogie effect, and it's going to mean you're going to be able to survive. Alright, the fastest way to rotate apart from gliding by using Rift to Go or a launch pad is to go ahead and grapple, and then slide at the end of your grapple just like this, and then go ahead and grapple again. This means that you're going to save your grapple charges as well as get really good distance as you go ahead and rotate. One of the best strats that you can do during mid-game, or let's say during an off-spawn fight, is to use a porta fort to aggressively get a wall on somebody. So let's say somebody's fighting you in a building and you want to go ahead and try to get the wall on. Let's say they're boxed up behind this wall. What you can do is simply throw down a porta fort right there, and it's going to go ahead and break out the wall, and you can go ahead and shoot them. Or a lot of the times the porta fort is going to spawn and it's just going to be like this, and you're going to have that edit control. You have to line up a free shot, and you basically have a perfect shot on them. I roller clip us doing it in squads. It is extremely broken, and you can also do it during mid-game fights a lot. Grenade launchers are probably the most broken things you can have this season in any game mode. However, loads of people use them wrong. They just spam them from a distance away and wonder why it doesn't do any damage and doesn't really waste any mats. You need to use it properly. Either use it when somebody's box fighting you to get a free shot through the wall. It actually does a proximity damage that blows up when it's right next to them. It's really good for getting an opening 100 tag. One of my favourite strats to do with the GL is to go ahead and get above somebody and then nestle the grenade in a little pocket, and it's going to allow you a free shot just like that to go ahead and open the fight. You can also do this to exploit into the box. Let's say somebody's right there. Go ahead and just stand right here and you'll get dropped into the box as long as it's wood or low HP brick. In Fortnite OG, grenades are back, which of course means that you can go ahead and do the nade strat. This is the best lineup to do to get nade strat kills, and I'd really recommend doing this in duos. All you need to do is just be boxed up, let's say in this position right here, drop some nades to your teammate, and then you want to go ahead and line up 65 meters away, bring your cursor to the top, and then go down about a third, right? So put it at the very top, and then you see that third marker below where your crosshair actually is, then put it on that, and you want to go ahead and throw your grenade at the same time as your teammate. This means it's going to perfectly blow up on top of somebody's box, and if you go ahead and chain this, so here I'll do the same thing on a metal box. If you go ahead and chain this, doing multiple nades, you both have 3 nades each. As you drop it on somebody's box, you're going to instantly get kills, and it's basically unavoidable from the other team. Also this season, remote explosives are back, which are very, very broken, as you guys should know from last season. Here is the best method to use them without other people realizing what you're doing. You can do it again, just like with the grenades in duos. You want to go a couple layers above somebody, so 2 or 3 layers above, and then you want to go ahead and throw it either straight up into the air, so it's going to land on them, or just throw it like this, and they're not going to get the audio of it landing, and you can go ahead and blow it up at the same time. There's another strat you can do with C4 if you want to be very aggressive at taking walls. Let's say there's somebody boxed up. Go ahead and throw a C4 up in the air. Right click it as it's in the air. And it's going to go ahead and blow up as it lands. I'll go ahead and replay that for you guys to understand. But you can do this to go ahead and very aggressively get some of these walls or even pre-fire them as well. So you go ahead, left click to line it up. Right click while it's in the air. And then you can aim a shotgun and get a free pre-fire shot just like that. Really broken strat. Stink grenades are probably one of the most broken utility items. I'll show them lineups you can do with them in a second, but basically the general idea of stink grenades and using them correctly is to throw them in a way that's going to allow you to be on the other side of them, right? So you want to go ahead and throw them, let's say on the front of a building and then wrap around the back. You want to throw it on the back of a box so the other person's forced to come into you. Don't just throw it and then be forced to run into the stink. Do it in ways like here. I throw it, the other guy's forced into this back room, I open the door and get a free kill. You can also go ahead and use them to save knock teammates and finish off anybody when they're low HP. They are so good in duo fights. They're going to help you get way more kills whenever you're playing ranked. And I'd really recommend taking them in solos as well. Another thing to note as well is the fact that stinks work exactly the same as grenades with their trajectories. So you can go ahead and do the grenade lineup with a stink bomb. Let's say you need surge, or let's say you want to open a fight on somebody. What you want to go ahead and do is instead of doing 65 meters, go a little bit closer and mark the center of their box, right? So don't mark the top cone. Mark the center of the box and go about 63 meters. Then go ahead and do the exact same lineup. And then now you can see as you throw the grenade over, this 2x1 is going to get completely taken up in stink. And you're going to go ahead and get a load of damage to open the fight. And oftentimes when people rebox like this, you can go ahead and beam them or get a free kill as they leave the box. This right here is the best meta loadout, I would say, for W King. In comp, you can go ahead and take more mobility or more heals if you're able to get them. However, for fighting wise, I would say this is best. Go ahead and take a pump shotgun, not a heavy and not attack, unless you can maybe find one of the rare purple or gold tacks. Then either try to have a fast firing swap weapon. Even an LMG works really well, especially for early game when people are only building in wood. Either a Scar is also excellent for getting long range beams, or a P90 is absolutely perfect. Then you want to go ahead and have some mobility or something like a boogie bomb perhaps. Then you want to go ahead and have one heal, and then you want to go ahead and carry a deagle. The deagle is absolutely broken, mainly because you can take back walls instantly and of course open up with a massive headshot if you're able to sneak up on somebody. Since the deagle doesn't one tap pretty much any wall, you need to go ahead and wait for somebody to do an edit. The best strat that I found is to wait for somebody to do a top right hand peek, then you shoot out their wall, do a bottom right hand peek, and you have a free shot on their feet and they can't even see you to get a tag back. One big thing that I see a lot of people struggle with in this season is ending fights quick, especially in a situation like this. You tag the person 90, you don't have any shield to pop, you want to end this fight quick before you get third party. So how do you do this? First of all, I'd recommend carrying some utility like explosives or even stink grenades, like I showed earlier, to go ahead and close and get a bit more damage onto them, especially if you get a big beam. The next is to be hyper aggro and try to be really PC when you've got that HP advantage. People tend to play super scared when they're low HP, and you can go ahead and just be really aggro, especially if they're trying to get off a couple of minis. You're going to be easily able to end the fight quick. And the last one is if somebody's just holding their wall and reboxing a whole load, especially since there's a lot of metal on this map, what I'd recommend doing is shotgunning into their box. So instead of pickaxing and trying to edit, just shotgun into their box like I did there. Even if they're holding the wall, if you correctly time the shotgun as you walk in, you're going to go straight into the box with your SMG or your AR out. So just like this, you go ahead as the wall's low HP, under 50, shoot it, get straight into the box and get an easy kill and catch them off guard. Another one of the best fighting strategies this season is to go ahead and combine a deagle and an RPG. Get the wall low HP, just bait a couple walls so they don't realize which one you're going to do. Then you want to go ahead and shoot an RPG and deagle the wall just as the RPG is about to hit it. Even if they're holding their turbo build on that particular wall, it's going to go ahead and go through if you time your deagle shot correctly. It's going to go straight into their box, hit them at least 100 depending on your RPG, and of course you've got a free kill from there. One thing that's really key for fighting this season in my opinion is choosing the correct shotgun for your playstyle and also adjusting your playstyle based on what shotgun your opponent is using. So what we mean with this is if you're somebody who likes to get straight in people's boxes, 50-50 a lot, and you want to go ahead and get in their face, use attack, of course. If you're somebody that likes playing long range peek, like my opponent in this clip was doing, they were constantly trying to peek me from far away, wait for me to do a bad edit and then out trade me. A heavy is perfect for that, since you're always going to go ahead and do more damage at range. And if you're someone that likes to get within a one box tile of somebody and try to go for an edit and a nice shot, a pump is perfect. And what I mean by adjusting your playstyle is right here, I knew my opponent had a heavy, but I kept on trying to do cross long range peaks which weren't working in my favor. He kept on out trading me, ended up using all my minis in this final 1v1. So I realized, okay, I have to get close to him. I have to close down the distance so my shotgun, my pump is going to out-trade his heavy. So look what I do. First of all is I go for this side peek right here. Only hit a 30, but it's a good opening tag. Then I go ahead and do a trade shot with him again, which sort of advantages him. And I realized I have to get close to him, go for the full piece, go for the clip, and go ahead and win the game. Alright, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what OG content you want in the new season from myself.